podcast focused on trends shaping the future of manufacturing. I'm Alexandria Bjork, your host, here with A.W. Schultz, two thought leaders with a passion for people and manufacturing. Today and every episode, we are diving deep into the advancements, sustainable practices, and dynamic changes transforming how we produce everything.
And now welcome Alexandria Burek and A.W. Schultz.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Factor of the Future. And today we are going to be talking about digital twins. And in the past episodes, I had talked about it from a maintenance standpoint on how it's been used to create reliability and sustainability. But as I've learned from Alexandria, there are much more uses to digital twins, and she's going to be discussing it today.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it over to Alexandria, and she's going to take me to school on this.
Thank you, AW. Well, you opened my eyes to digital twin, and now they continue to be bust open even further wider. So what we're doing right now at our consulting firm is we're investigating digital twin is a method for planning for different supply chain network disruptions, for how companies can optimize their distribution channels. And even really cool, which I'm excited about, is how companies can simulate different sustainability measures and see what basically the results are without investing in the technology. So basically using a digital twin simulation to explore different paths to sustainability, efficiency, whatever it may be within their supply chain network, to decide which technologies and solutions they want to deploy. So we're pretty early in our research, but I was really fascinated by that approach to digital twin, given our previous conversations and talks about how NASA created it as a way to do maintenance in space and on Earth, like we're doing it on Earth, and then we can tell the astronauts how to actually fix the equipment in the most effective and fast way. So then as I was sharing that with my team of consultants that I work with on this project, they're like, wow, we never would have thought to use it in that way, or we didn't know that that's how digital twin got created. But there's all these different ways that people are using digital twin technology, and I'm really excited about it.
What kind of applications are you using it with? I mean, can anybody build something like this? Or
So there's a few different technology suites that we're exploring as an organization. We're kind of between two different approaches. We're not sure which direction we're necessarily headed yet. We're kind of letting the research dictate how we feel we could best offer this to our clients. So one potential solution is to offer digital twin simulation as a service. The other potential is to kind of research the digital twin leaders in the space, maybe with different applications in mind, and then be able to partner with our clients on helping them select and implement the best solution for their business. So there's kind of two different paths we're kind of traveling down, and as the research comes in, we're looking at what might be best for them. But yeah, it's definitely supply chain focused, definitely logistics focused, and stuff like where if a port closes, how's that going to affect downstream the supply chain network of our clients.
you're talking like a port where
like an import, like so if our clients are importing, materials, raw materials, finished goods, whatever it may be, from China, and then the port of Los Angeles closes, how does that affect their supply chain network? What inventory should they have on site, to prevent a complete failure to deliver to their end users and all those different things.
So in 2022, when we had that, we're recovering from COVID.
Yeah, it was the Suez Canal. Is that what you're going to talk about?
No, but I was looking at like the port in California, and one of the biggest ports in the U.S. certainly, and all these trucks are sitting idle and they can't get these boats in, and they're diverting them into New Orleans, the canal probably. And it's obviously, I'm going to say, like, a digital twin would have paid some dividends if they would have had something in that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would it have, could you put that, would you be putting that kind of technology into like, here, big crisis, things can't ship, can't get here. I have heard that before.
Yeah.
It has been theorized that the next, but this is, we're going back far, but it kind of leads into a digital twin. Is some of these experts saying that the next big pandemic was going to be, something related to respiratory or
Oh,
similar to
wow.
COVID,
Wow.
and but we didn't react to it, and
Hmm.
that was kind of it's not a digital twin, but
Definitely
are
something
these
that
the
would have been
scenarios you
good to
put into a
simulate.
digital?
Yeah. Well, so let's talk about that. So the way I see digital twin being used in the supply chain space is twofold. So there's opportunities to do more strategic level simulation. So where if we put a warehouse here, how does that affect our cost? How does that affect our operations, our people needs, our equipment needs, whatever it may be. Another way, is more the tactical and kind of responsive way of like reacting to scenarios. If that were live, you could theoretically use a digital twin to kind of recalibrate your supply chain network and decide how you're going to distribute if, we're now moving from the port of Los Angeles to New Orleans. That those are different applications. I also see it in terms of like, so my background is fleet. That's where I have a lot of my mind goes to is private fleet and actual trucking scenarios. So, there's a big market of people and companies who have their own private fleets. So like Walgreens has their own private fleet, meaning Walgreens has their own trucks and they distribute their own stuff. AutoZone, same thing. Frito-Lay, same thing. So those companies can use it to simulate where they might want to add additional private fleet locations, distribution channels, how that would change their cost or things like that. They could simulate by exploring what, using different equipment would do for their bottom line in terms of maybe they go electric vehicles. That's a big investment. They don't know what the ROI on that is or how that would work within the distance that their trucks travel. But you could use a digital twin to evaluate where EVs make sense, where they don't, what lanes maybe even you would use an EV on versus lanes you'd want to use the diesel trucks on and keep the actual fuel. So it's like those different scenarios we can use the digital twin for. And I'm really excited to see how this technology comes to market and fits in with our offering.
I got to go back to, but it's based on human. They have to do the inputs, so you need some people that know the risks and identifying the risks, right? That goes into inputs. I've never created a
Yes,
digital twin.
me either. So what I'm learning is that there's scenarios, which is what you plug into the digital twin, and the scenarios drive what is a simulation. So maybe it's the port closure. Maybe it's we deploy a fleet of 50 EVs in this location. Maybe it's California because the requirements or whatever. So we put those inputs are the scenario and then the output is the simulation. So then it runs through this set of experiences and outputs what would be the results of that scenario. That's my
So I would
understanding.
envision doing a failure mode effects analysis. So you would understand the severity, detectability, and the risk that goes into it.
Yeah.
And this is just I'm trying to use my own
Yeah.
knowledge of what I would
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
if I had to build a digital twin, and I'm wondering
Yeah.
if that's a similar approach.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
you need experts on it.
you
You need
do.
people that know it, and then people that have experience in it. Um, that's
It, the way I'm even thinking about this too is we all talk about the workforce shortage, right? Digital
yeah.
twins could theoretically help with that as well. Like you could do a model of seeing what is your work, what does it look like if you have, less workers? How does that affect your output? All those things. And also I think that just drives where I always say people don't, it's not, we're not eliminating people from the workforce. We're just changing what they do. So I feel like somebody who may have been an operator or a supervisor, those are the people that you want to engage in. What are the different scenarios you've seen? They could all of a sudden, from being an operator or a supervisor, now maybe their job has been replaced by robots. Okay, well, what are the different scenarios that we need to train the robots on? That person then becomes the script writer of all the different scenarios to train the robots on. Like those are that's how things move. I'm a huge believer in people don't lose their jobs. It's just their jobs and their skills change. And I think that's where it comes down to the individual. I think everybody should be working on just thinking about how their job can be done in the future with this new technology, like staying up on it and listening to this podcast. It gives you a different way to think about how your role might show up in the future, or how you might be able to get ahead of the rest of the people that are working on the line with you based on developing certain skills. You can really learn anything nowadays, and I'd recommend, building up your skill set with this technology in mind.
Yeah, I think that's one message that we tend to drive home hard is that there's not a shortage in jobs in manufacturing. It's just people willing to do them.
Yeah.
And there's a shift. There's a shift that's occurring, and being open to it and being embracive of it is what's going to be pertinent in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think digital twins is going to be here to stay. I think AI is going to be here to stay. I think if workers are concerned about kind of their role and how it fits into those technologies in the future, maintenance and reliability is getting so much more automated. Find a way to make your role fit into those new technologies. Become the first early adopter, and you're going to be that much more valuable when these technologies become commonplace.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah. So, on that note, I guess I'm going to say that we're clocking out.
Clocking out like finished goods.
Clocking out like finished goods. Okay.
Good episode, Alexandra.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you for bringing that up.
This is Factory the Future, and we are out of here like finished goods. Stay tuned for our next episode of Factory of the Future, where we're exploring groundbreaking techniques and behaviors that are reshaping industrial landscapes. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review and help others discover the cutting-edge insights transforming manufacturing as we know it.